Light, glow, jam, mode. Just see live, yeah, we on that road. Oh.
Pull up the stat, chat hitting like flame. Viewers go wild when they call out names. 808 jump when the plays get shown. Bronx in the mix, yeah, the crowd unknown. Flashes pop, overlay tight, Yankee blue wave, all up in sight. One taboo, screen on blast. Just run the show for speed, no cap. Night show, let it ride, let it roll. Chat list, string glow, that's control. Stats flash like splash, all heat. Just see, got the stream on repeat. Night show, yeah, we vibe, we zone. Big Bronx talk when the mic get blown. One more drop, crowd say shish. Whole team up, energy unleashed. Yeah. Night show, listen, see, yeah. Live in the Bronx, that's energy.
What it do, everybody? What it do? Well, screw that timer. Hope everybody's having a great evening. My bad, I'm a little late today. I had a lot of things to do, but nonetheless, the show must continue. The show must continue. Before we do, I want to just put out some kind of developer notes. If you guys are into streaming or anything like that, or if you are a streamer, content creator, and you haven't checked out EVMux is a platform that I use. I know a lot of people use StreamYards, but I use EVMux, and they've allowed me to develop some apps for them. So go check it out. The link is in the description. I do get a small percentage, so if you can help a brother out, man, do so. Let me switch this over here and show you what I'm talking about. I'll show you the apps I made real quick, and then we'll get into the Yankees talk. So this is how the studio looks in here. You can add guests and do all that good stuff. You just go in right here. They got a whole bunch of widgets and apps that you can do. To me, this is the best hybrid between a StreamYards and OBS type of platform, right? If you want the best of both of those, go here. But anyway, I made a professional score bug right here. I'll add that to scene. Okay. Now that's a scoreboard. If you do live scores, you got NBA, MLB. You can fetch the games right here. And it updates every like 7 seconds or something like that. We got that. And then I created also, there's a few more here. I'll just show you the ticker, and then we'll proceed with the show. But the apps and widgets right here. I got a pro stats fetcher. They pulls up anybody's stats you want. And this is the ticker that I made here, obviously by yours truly. Again, link in the description. Add that to scene. And there you have it. Oh, what am I doing here? Yep, it updates every so often. You could choose up to soccer leagues if you're into soccer or whatever. Position at the bottom, show scores, show news, font size. You can change the colors. Like I'll just change the background color. I don't know, let's say to blue. Save settings, and there you have it. Right. So if you're interested in something like that, if you're a content creator, please check that out. Link is in the description once again. But with that over with, right? Ben Rice makes his spring debut today along with Ryan McMahon, but Ryan McMahon didn't really do nothing, so we're going to stay with Ben Rice. The man, Ben Rice himself, he cooked, even though it was a hard hit single ground ball up the middle, 2 RBIs, drove in 2. But again, he was productive. He shows that why the Yankees love him so much and why the analytics love him so much, because the dude hits the ball hard. And when you hit the ball hard, good things are going to happen, right? So it was good to see him. A lot of concern about him not playing for a couple of days for whatever reason. But he was in the lineup today just to kind of silence all the rumors that started brewing. Like, why isn't Ben Rice playing? That's what everybody was saying. Why isn't Ben Rice playing? Well, he's playing now, and I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a big year for him. He has the opportunity to really make his mark on this organization and in the MLB to make himself. To me, he's a legit big leaguer, right? But this is, if he could give you back-to-back years like he did last year and even better, then it's he's here to stay for sure. But let me know what you guys think in the chat. But one thing I was wondering, right, when the lineup came out is, where is Big G? Where is Big G? Giancarlo Stanton has not played so far, if I'm not mistaken, right? He hasn't played at all. I wonder why. Me personally, I'm not concerned. With Big G, he's very delicate. Like, I don't want to say delicate because that sounds real soft. He's just we know that he can be injury prone. So The Yankees probably just want to take their time. No reason to rush him out there. If it was me personally, I'd put him on nice. His spring training needs to be in June, right? To get him to that way you can get the best of Big G come September and October. That wouldn't be a bad idea, but obviously that's not going to happen. So I'm wondering to see what's going to happen with Big G. Who knows, right? Look, I was saying the same thing yesterday, and I woke up to the lineup with Ben Rice in it. So Big G might be in the lineup tomorrow for all I know. But I say just no need to rush it, right? No, especially with Big G. Giancarlo, no need to rush it. Like if Giancarlo came in and said, "Look, man, I need to take 30 days off," I'd be like, psh, by all means, as long as it's before June, by all means, do what you gotta do. I got a troll on my head. As you see, the people in the chat are trolling me right now. If you're new to this, if this is the first time you've come across my channel, if you look in the description of the video, there's a whole bunch of commands that you can enter to do stuff like this, or even shoot hearts if you want to. And I don't know why I did not hear that. So I hope you guys did. Hold on a second. Let me make sure about that. Yeah. I mean, or you can do this. All right. Should be working now. I hope. At least I hope. Hold on. All right. Anyway, so yeah, I think we should be seeing them soon, especially in a couple days here. All these WBC guys are going to be reporting to their teams. I think they report on March 1st, I believe, or something like that, or maybe February 28th. In a couple days now, right? And probably less than a week, Judge and a lot of these guys are not going to be at camp anymore. They're going to be with their respective whatever teams they're representing. And yeah, so maybe that's when they'll bring out Big G. It's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting how the Yankees navigate all of this, especially with Big G. He's one of those guys that you really have to low manage. And it's I'm sure the Yankees have a plan on how they're going to navigate that stuff. Let me turn that off. Let me turn that off and say what's up to the chat, because you guys are killing it in there. Where are we at here? Jacob's in the building. He says, Custodio, what's up, man? Jacob says he just got a new job, so he's been missing. Oh, man, that's great, man. Congratulations. Congratulations. Me, myself, man, I'm looking for work. That's why I've been having more time to stream in the mornings and stuff. So you see a lot more of me. Li, my man Aiden. What's up, Li, man? I hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. That's Li's one dude who's not missing Giancarlo Stanton. For all he cares, he hopes Giancarlo Stanton goes MIA for the rest of the season. Let Rice cook, says Johnny Salami. Yeah, they got to let him play. Look, I would say this, like today, Ben Rice got himself some at-bats versus a lefty pitcher, which is something that I didn't think they were going to do. And also Jason Dominguez. We saw Jason Dominguez from the right side. Obviously, he struck out. He didn't do anything. But I guess he earned that at-bat with a big, he drove in a run on a double, even though that was from the left side. So the narrative still follows Jason Dominguez about him not being able to hit from the right side. But look, how can you expect somebody to get better from hitting from whatever to the right side if he doesn't face lefty pitchers? So I think, me personally, I was shocked that they let him hit from the right side. I think it was just let us see what happens, let him eat. But hopefully they give him more burn. At least when he goes to AAA. Look, if Jason Dominguez does start the season off at AAA, which it looks like that's going to be the case, then he needs to play every day, right? From both sides of the plate. They got to let him play every single day. That he doesn't come out the lineup. I would tell him, look, he does not come out the lineup, and I don't care if he's batting 0.78 versus lefties. He's going to get his ABs from the right side of the plate. That should be mandated when he's down there. And he has seniority, even though he's a young guy. And there's a lot of kids down there. I'm not going to say kids. There's a lot of players in AAA who are a lot more older and have more professional time than Jason Dominguez. But Jason Dominguez has more big league time than a lot of them dudes. So he gets seniority for sure. Stephen B says Ben Hess looked impressive. I caught a little bit of it, and he looked impressive and he looked unimpressive at the same time to me anyway. Like I'm not gonna act like I'm familiar with the dude. I haven't seen the dude a lot. First of all, he wasn't facing great hitters like that. I would say that, but he did. Didn't he like give up some walks or something? Like I'm gonna pull it up right now. Let's pull up the recap because I could have sworn he hit somebody in between the numbers. For a second there, he was struggling with his command, if I'm not mistaken. All right, that's the batting lineups right now. Ben Rice 2 for 3, 2 RBIs, obviously. Dominguez 1 for 4, and McMahon 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. And I've been really pushing Ryan McMahon, and he's made me look bad. So yeah. All right, I'm looking for Ben Hess. All right, pitching right here. Ben Hess went 3 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run, and 2 walks. Had 5 strikeouts, though. But remember, most of these guys he's facing are minor leaguers, even though he's a minor leaguer himself, so I'll give him that. Yeah, for a second there, it just seemed like, I don't know, he lost his command for a quick second there, but look, the dude has stuff, man. You could tell that he's talented, obviously, but he definitely isn't ready, in my opinion. Not right now, but he's talented, though, right? He did look good. He got to work on some things, though. For me, anyway. Johnny the Salami says, Ben Rice is the player I'm looking forward to most this season. I hear you, man. Let me know who's the player that you guys are. All right, who more than anyone in the Yankees roster needs to step it up this year? Like, this is the year you better step it up. And I'll tell you, me personally, I think is Austin Wells. I know a lot of people are going to say Anthony Volpe, but for me, it's Austin Wells. I think that he, more than anyone, needs to really step up offensively. And I'm not saying that he got to go crazy, but he definitely has to produce a little more than he did last year, at least, at the very minimum. Jacob says, Jason specifically waited for Eli to join before talking Stan. Oh, man, look. I understand that. Look, Eli, a lot of times, I know I give him a lot of hate, but Eli does make some valid points. Sometimes it's just, and I understand his logic. It's just the Yankees. Well, no, so a lot of times I tell him, it's just, I understand, but the Yankees aren't doing that, dude. Like, they're not going to do that. So, that's the only thing. Eli says Stan won't be playing until next week. Okay. This dude, and you've been offering that San Francisco trade forever. Buster Posey might do it, man. He's done crazier stuff. He's done stranger things, right? Johnny Salami says they have Big G and Bubble Wrap, and he will bring him out at the All-Star break. Yeah, man, they got that dude in the bubble right now. You got to protect him at all costs. Peter Rex says, good to see you again. You look good. It's been a long winter. Let's get to spring and get that chicken. Okay. Now I feel you, man. Yeah, man, we got to get that chicken, get that bread, get that head. I used to have a friend who used to say that all the time. He's a nutcase. All right, who got here? I'm going to butcher this. Lonozoria. Melonozoria. I don't know, man. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. What happened to Stan? No, nothing happened to Stan. He's just, we haven't seen him. I think Johnny Salami hit the nail on the head, man. They got Big G and Bubble Wrap right now. Aiden says he won't be playing until next week. I haven't seen that. I don't know if that's official, but if that's the case, then I get it too, because next week is when a lot of these players are going to be with their WBC team, so that will make sense too. Peter Rex says, I love Rice's swing right on the pitch. Look, Ben Rice kills fastballs. Ben Rice could hit a fastball with the best of them. It's just like, he does have holes in his swing last year. I don't know if he fixed it, but versus like breaking stuff low and in, he struggles with. I'm telling you, that's what I've seen, what I've noticed, but he can hit a fastball with the best of them. You're not going to get one by him. It's the breaking pitches that especially low and in, he struggles with for whatever reason. I'm not sure. Dominguez needs to work on right, but needs more at bats. Work on right? Oh, from the right side of the plate. Yeah, you're right. He needs more at bats though. Gilbert Godfrey. Oh no, Godfrey Gilbert. My bad. Oh man, what a name. 2 strikeouts, 1 innings pitched. Okay. What else we got here? Bubba Chandler gave up 4 earned runs, and he's a big time prospect, but they got Tim. Player of the game, Miguel Palma with the Yankees. I don't know if they still got him from the Astros hat. I don't even know how the Yankees acquired this guy, but he looked good. Obviously hit a home run today, so shout out to him. Yeah, Ben Rice 2 for 3, Nick Gonzalez 2 for 3. So that's the game right there, guys. That was the game. We got Hess controls the issue. Yeah, it is. I saw it for a little bit. You could tell that he was kind of losing it there. But he brung it back, and he got a big time double play when he needed it most. Aiden says Austin Wells. Yeah, I agree. Austin Wells is the one player that I'm looking to that I need to see some improvement. I need to see improvement from him. Now, I could say the same thing about Volpe, obviously, but for some reason, and maybe it's just me, but I got a bone to pick with Austin Wells. I don't know why. I just expect more from him. I really do. So, what we got? Peter says, I'm hoping Wells just suffered from a sophomore jinx and will be focused this year. His approach at the plate last year was no bueno. Yeah, his approach was, and not only him, man, it just seemed like a bunch of Yankees, a bunch of guys in the lineup just had the same approach. And with him, it just seemed like you can get high heat by him. He was struggling with the high fastball, and then after you raise his eye level with a high fastball that he couldn't catch up to, you throw something. Same thing with Rice. Throw him a breaking ball low and in, and he's more than likely gonna swing right over it. So hopefully he fixes that. Huge Seek says, "What's up? What's up, Huge Seeks?" Aiden says, "I want the Yankees to get younger. The Yankees being older isn't good because it doesn't make any sense." No, I hear you. This is a young man's sport. It really is. But the thing I always say to you, Eli, is that they have so much money invested with these guys, and they're not willing to eat it. They're just not. They're not going to eat it. So, but I agree with you. Look, a lot of people, right? I don't know how you feel about the Paul Goldschmidt signing. Me, I wasn't mad or happy about it, but I felt like that was a roster spot because everybody's like, well, he could teach Ben Rice. I'm like, look, I feel like that roster spot could be better spent, right? Or better used. But if he's going to mash lefties, then okay, right? I could dig it. But he's definitely not the same guy who won MVP just a few years ago. We saw it last year. He ran out of gas late. So, like, I'm not sure. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, right? Because people are going to say, what are you talking about? He's going to teach Ben Rice and he's going to. I'm like, look, dude, that's why they have staff. That's why they have coaches and stuff. Like, if you're going to get a player, you get him to play, right? Not to teach. So, and I understand that's a small part of it, but a roster spot is so important, right? I don't care how much money you got. You only have 26 roster spots, right? So you can't just waste them. Even the 40-man roster is very important. You can't waste roster spots with dead weight. So that's why I understand Eli sometimes when he says stuff like that. Rice has the worst luck with having one of the hardest contact hitting last year. I expect him to take the next step. I do too. Yeah, they're not going to do that, Eli, unfortunately, right, for you. To me, Big G is still productive. I like Big G. He's a threat. Whenever that dude's at the plate, you make one mistake and it is going to be hit 120 miles an hour for 450 plus feet. So anybody who could do that at any given day, I'll take him. But I understand, though. I definitely do. But let's get into some of this trivia here. Hold on, let me load it up. Today's gonna be a quick show. We're gonna keep it short and simple. Okay, this thing doesn't want to load. Keep it nice and sweet. All right, here we go. Okay. There's just some random questions here we're going to get into really fast. Again, this is how you play. If you're just joining us, the question is going to appear on the screen. You're going to have like 50, 45 seconds to answer. A, B, C, or D in the chat. The faster you answer, the more points you get. There's no prizes today, but there will be some in the future as soon as I work out all the bugs and kinks. Quick disclaimer, right? So let's get into the first question.
Trivia time. Which Yankee hit a walk-off homer in the 13th inning of the 2017 AL wildcard game? Is it A, Aaron Judge, B, Didi Gregorius, C, Aaron Hicks, D, Brett Gardner?
So which Yankee hit a walk-off home run in the 13th inning of the 2017 AL wildcard game? A walk-off. Was it Didi? I'm not even sure about this one, to be honest. I have bad memory. I'm gonna go with Didi because I remember him hitting a bunch of big home runs, bunch of big time ones. It could be Hicks though. Hicks has some big ones. Yeah, it was Hicks. Look at that. Look at that. Me following Stephen B. Never again.
Trivia time. Which Dodger hit the walk-off HR in the 18-inning 2018 World Series Game 3? Is it A, Justin Turner, B, Max Muncy, C, Cody Bellinger, D, Yasiel Puig?
Justin Turner, Max Muncy, Cody Bellinger, Yasiel Puig. I see the chat going with Max Muncy. Tell you what, I'm gonna go with Justin Turner. I don't know why. I can't remember though. I've watched these games too. I think it's just me and Stephen B playing. Oh, you got it right, Stephen B. All right, next one.
Trivia time. Who was the Yankees starting pitcher in the 2021 AL wildcard game at Fenway? Is it A, Jarrett Cole, B, Nestor Cortez, C, Jameson Taillon, D, Luis Severino?
Who was it? What's up, Beagle Dad? Join the trivia, man. A, B, C, or D. Who was the Yankees starting pitcher in the 2021 AL wildcard game at Fenway Park? Garrett Cole? I don't think it was, man. I don't know. 2021? I don't know. I'm gonna just guess. I picked Nestor. Oh yeah, duh, right? Of course it was Garrett Cole. He allowed 3 home runs in the loss. Remember I told you, man, when Garrett Cole first joined the Yankees for like those first 2 years, it was rough. It was rough.
Trivia time. Which team came back from 3-1 down to win the 2016 World Series? Is it A, Chicago Cubs, B, Cleveland Indians, C, Los Angeles Dodgers, D, Houston Astros?
I know this one. Yep. It was the Chicago Cubs. That was all the questions. Stephen B, you're the winner. You are the winner, my guy. With 1,679 points. Because nobody wanted to join. But it's all good. All right. I'm going to do that. And I got some this or that's, right? This or that, you choose who would you rather have. You put 1 or 2 in the chat. So let's go ahead. This or that. Bases loaded, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. who are you sending up to the plate? Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge? Who would you rather have batting with the game on the line, pretty much? Put one for Shohei Ohtani, type 2 for Aaron Judge. Only 2? I guess people don't want to participate, man. If y'all don't want to participate, I'll stop doing these, you know. I got another one after this, though. I think it's more interesting. All right. Let's go. No, we're going to do... All right, who is more clutch? Aaron Judge or Giancarlo Stanton? This is a tough one right here. Who is more clutch? Big G or the captain? You put Big G? Ooh, he does have more big moments, but I don't know. You got to put 1 or 2, John the Beagle Dad. I'm going to go with Aaron Judge. Especially last year. If we was voting about recency, Judge has been more clutch more recently. Right. All right. Giancarlo Stanton is the winner. Giancarlo Stanton is the winner. We're gonna close this real quick. All right, guys. Yeah, man. Once again, look, if you guys are into streaming or you trying to get into streaming, especially about sports, and you want some cool graphics and stuff, I've made some apps on EVMux that is open to the public. EVMux, you could use the free tier and use these apps. It will have a watermark, or you can use the pay tiers, right? Obviously, if you use the link in my description, I get a small percentage. But yeah, this is the score bug right here. This is the ticker. It updates live, right? Right now I have some soccer stuff showing right there, but you can put any league, MLB, NFL. Like, I'm gonna take all these off and just show. We'll show MLB, right? And eventually it'll update itself. So, yep, that's how you do that. And then I also created another app, right? And I'm gonna show you guys right now. Here you go. You go down to the Pro Player Stats Fetcher developed by Jason Custodio. That's yours truly. Click on that. Just type in the player. For instance, right now, I don't know. And give me any player. Just I don't know. We'll try Derek Jeter. Hit search. Derek Jeter, New York Yankees, right? And it shows you his career stats there. We could go ahead right here. I'll get another play. I don't know. Just I don't know. Jalen Brunson. Is it even for soccer? This works for even soccer. Right, Jalen Brunson, you could choose the season. We'll just do career stats, update. And there you have it. And it works for everything, right? I'll put Lionel Messi. Click on that. Yeah. And you guys get the drift. So if you're interested in something like that, again, the link is in the description. For EVMux. Use that link. I get a little small percentage. It helps me out, helps me keeps the lights on, and helps me keeps the streams going, and creating more apps and more cool stuff for not only myself. Like, I made these, and I made these for other content creators, because I got a lot of people asking me, like, how you do this, and how do I get a ticket like that, and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, I would do it. And obviously I did it so I can also to help other people out, but so I can get something out of it too, right? So if you use the link, or you can donate, I have my Ko-fi there. And if, the more people are interested, the more I'll keep making stuff on this platform, and the more I'll update it and add whatever people want. But let's get to the chat. What do you guys want to talk about, man? What do you guys want to talk about? Let me see. Let me get over here. And then I have, like, you want something like what I got right here? This is more complex, and this is next level stuff. If you're interested in something like that, just hit me up. My info's in my description. This is yeah, we will have to talk about this because this is a lot of work, and obviously to run this, you need a level of computing power. Like you need I'm not going to say you need a special computer, but you need a decent computer that can handle it. And it's got to be, well, it doesn't have to be through OBS. You can do it with EVMux too, but it's another way you got to do it. But just hit me up if you're interested in stuff like that. John the Beagle says, Greg Nettles. John the Beagle, if you hit exclamation, I don't know if you know, but in this chat right now, during the live stream, if you hit exclamation point and put any player's name, it'll pull up their stats. Greg Nettles. I hope I spelled that right. Like so. It might not work from there. Hold on. You spelled Roger Clemens wrong. Sometimes the spelling has to be on point. And if it's not, you have a problem. But yeah, it's just some stuff I've made, right? And I'll show you something else that I've been working on. It's not finished yet. But I've been working on something else too to make like shorts and stuff like that if you're into content creating. But we'll get into that later. Yeah, so you see, pulled up Roger Clemens. If you put a year behind it, you could it'll show for whatever year. And yeah, pretty much you could put Babe Ruth if you want. And it'll come up. I know my daughter just texted me. Yeah, anything usually, but really though, like it's supposed to be only for members. It's a members only feature, but I've been having it for everybody. But come spring, I might put some limitations on how it works. So, Roy White. Who's Roy White? I think it's looking for it right now. Look, I'll show you how it's running in the background. Where's it at? That's the program running right there. So if I put a player like, let me X this out. Go back over here. Yeah, I don't know who's Roy White, but it's not finding it right now. Let me see. Where'd it go? Stephen Drew. Oh, number 6 for the Yankees, 1970s. Man, that's before my time, my brother. It should pull up, though. Let me try. Does he have like a junior or something at the end of it? Or anything? Well, it's not going to pull up there. Let me move it. Put this over here. But yeah, guys. Anyway, that's what I'm doing over here. And I got the wrong freaking... There we go. I got the wrong logo up. Nobody told me. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. And I'm working on some more stuff, man. But if the demand is there, I'll do it. Because I've noticed, like, even like these games, you see how many people, there was 30 people in the chat. And only 2 people participated. So, when I make these things, it takes a lot of time. I'm not going to lie. It takes a lot of time and effort. So, and frustration. There's times, man, I want to rip my hair out doing this shit. But if you guys are interested in it, man, we'll do it. We'll get it together. We will get it together. Who is that? Obviously, there's some bugs. The one that I made for EVMux, though, is a lot better. So I'm going to use the logic on that one and put it to this one because it's more new and it's more refined. It is more refined. Oh, Lou wasn't here? Yeah, Lou wasn't here. Oh, man. And again, hit the like button if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. And check out even if you're not, look, if you do StreamYards, right, and stuff like that, it's almost the same thing. Right? StreamYards it has its advantages, but EV has its advantages too. And I think EV Monks, if you want to use graphics and really take it to another level, I think EV Monks is the way to go. Me personally, that's what I do. But yeah, so again, guys, freaking Ben Rice, spring debut, looked good, 2 for 3, 2 RBIs, can't complain. Ryan McMahon, he was nowhere to be found. I don't know why that keeps pulling up. What is that? Something that keeps popping up. Anyway, yeah, Ryan McMahon 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts, not a good look. Again, I'm going to still stick by my receipt. If you don't know, also, I created receipts. So if you make a bold claim in the chat, if you make a bold claim or a bold prediction, we'll lock it in to the database. And we'll come back to it later. We'll come back to it later and see if your prediction was cap or it was a good take. And so my prediction so far this season is I said Ryan McMahon will have a good season in 2026, and I said Jake Bird will make the roster out of spring training. So we'll see if those come true, right? We will see. John the Beagle that says, now I'll leave those bold predictions to those that are more knowledgeable. I mean, it's all for fun and games. I'm keeping it because last year, and I'm not going to put out no names, there was one person in particular who all of a sudden was saying something. I'm like, dude, just a month ago, you was on a whole different bandwagon. You were saying something completely different, and now you just jump ship and you're going to act like you never said that? Okay, so then I came up with the idea. I said, from now on, at first I was thinking about just taking screenshots with my phone, and I was like, why would I do that? I'm going to make a program that freaking logs predictions, right, that people make, and we're going to come back later and see if they were right or not. Look, and I'm in it too, so I've made some bad takes, but I'm out here in public, so when I make a bad take, and you can hold me accountable. And nobody can really hold you guys accountable because the chat isn't logged anywhere. So now we have a system to keep people accountable. Like Hyde Kwan says, my prediction is we're neck and neck with Baltimore behind the Jays and Sox for a long stretch this season. I predict the Yankees to lose on Father's Day for the upteenth time in a row. All right. Jack Geezy says the three-peat is going to be sweet. Talking about the Dodgers and so on and so on. All right. And as it grows, man, I'm not going to lie, it's taking up a lot of space in my database, but it's all good. Stephen B says, hold on, let's look at Stephen B's. Right here. Hot take, Emma Rodriguez Cruz forces his way on the roster. All right, out of spring, though, you wasn't specific. That's the thing, too. You wasn't very specific. So, what's up, Jonathan? Jonathan says Yankees need to cut strikeouts if they have any chance at winning the division. I mean, yeah. I think they can still win the division with the strikeouts, but they're not going to get far in the playoffs like that. The thing is, like, certain guys are going to strike out a lot. Aaron Judge strikes out a good amount of times, but he also produces, right? So I don't care. You could strike out if you could strike out 50% of the time, if the other 50% of the time you're doing damage, right? But a lot of these guys aren't. And a lot of these guys need to just change their approach. And hold on. They need to change their approach. Let me check Aaron Judge's strikeouts last year. Also, if you put a player's name, so like I'm going to put Aaron Judge Savant. If you put a player's name, exclamation point, player's name, Savant, it should pull up their Savant page. And that only works for active players because only active players have Savant pages. There we go. It took forever to pull up, but you see the spray chart there. All right. Yeah. And then we got splits. Like if I put Jason Dominguez versus righties, I think this is how I put it to work. Jason Dominguez versus versus lefty. All right, Jason Dominguez versus righties. 274 average. This is 2025. 79 hits. Obviously, on base percentage 348. OPS 768. Good numbers, right? And then Jason Dominguez, lefty. Oh no, Dominguez versus lefties. Versus lefties. Big difference. But look, I'm gonna tell you right now though, a 204 average. He's batting right there from the right side. He's from the right side. He's Volpe and Austin Wells, right, and Ryan McMahon from the right side. So, right, look at those numbers there, right? Jason Dominguez versus lefties, batting 204, on base percentage 279, and if I pull up, this is Volpe, right? Obviously, it's a lot more bigger sample size, but you see the numbers, they pretty much the same. You get where I'm going with this, right? It's not good. It's not good, but they don't even give him a chance versus lefties. Where somebody like him or Wells or McMahon, obviously the defense is a little bit better. I will argue that Anthony Volpe's defense was just as bad as Dominguez last year, even though they played two different positions. But you get my drift, right? You get my drift. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Rules for thee, but not for he, I guess, right? I don't know. That's the thing that bothers me with the Yankees. If you're going to be a certain way with players, you got to be like that with every player. But, and look, it's not to hate on Volpe or anything, but he has gotten the golden treatment. And that, a lot of players have not gotten that. Even higher touted. I can't even talk. More higher touted prospects I've seen come up through the system and not get the opportunity like he's gotten it. So, and that's not a knock on him because I'm pulling for Volpe this year. I really am. I'm hoping that he has a redemption year. Kind of a just shut everybody up type of year. I'm hoping for that, right? But if not, right? And they just keep throwing him out there like that, it raises the questions. It's like, look, how do you, especially now that we have other options, how do you go ahead and just roll him out there like that? But then complain and say that the Dominguez is bad and he can't, when, I get it, two different players, two different positions and everything, but the numbers are just same. I just pulled you the numbers. Jason Dominguez from the right side is Anthony Volpe, literally. Jason Dominguez from the right side, those numbers, even though smaller sample size, are almost identical to Anthony Volpe's numbers for its entire season. I don't know, man. That's a whole nother rabbit hole that I don't want to go down right now, but it's crazy, man. Crazy. Stephen B says pretty much the same on the right. The lefty hitting much better. Yep. Volpe needs to lead the league in errors. Volpe leads the league in errors and was hurt. I'm not buying that hurt thing, man. To be honest, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it because they told us he wasn't hurt. Right? If you're hurt, don't play because you're hurting the team. Right? If he was really hurt and that's the reason why he didn't perform well, then you just hurt the team. There was no point. And they didn't. And I'll be honest, right? I feel like the Yankees use that as an excuse. We all know that. I've been saying this for a long time. Because because Meredith asked Boone one day, she said, I saw Anthony Volpe with a big ice pack on his shoulder as he hurt from that injury that he had at shortstop on whatever date. And Boone said, no, he's fine. He's a little bit hurt, but he can play through it. And Boone tends to really, like sometimes Boone kind of, he kind of reveals the magic. He kind of pulls back the curtain a little bit and gives you a glimpse. He's done it multiple times. He did it with Aaron Judge last year when Aaron Judge was like, I forgot what it was, and Boone was like, yeah, no, he's not ready to be throwing at all right now. And Boone was like, he don't know what he's talking about. He's not out there throwing with me. And he had, but it turned out that he was right. Boone was actually telling the truth. And look, I give Boone a lot of shit, man. I really do. But lately, he's been, like I said, he's been revealing a little bit, giving a glimpse of what's behind the curtain slightly, So has Judge. So has a couple of these guys. So Stephen B put Carlos Stanton savant. I didn't know. I don't know who's Carlos Stanton. Who's that? Carlos Stanton or Giancarlo Stanton? If Volpe was hurt and still playing, he was being selfish. Yeah, but I understand Volpe because, he's as a player, it's your career. Sometimes you got to play through being hurt. I think he was hurt, but he was good enough to play. But even then, it doesn't negate. I don't think. Look, all those errors that I watched, right? Those errors, I can't see it like, oh yeah, that's a shoulder problem, right? It wasn't a shoulder problem. A lot of them was just keeping, like, he take his eye off the ball in the last second, or just a throwing error that just, you could tell that he, I'm not gonna say it was the yips, but when you're not confident that you can throw a ball to the first baseman, you start trying to aim it too much and stuff like that, man. There's a lot of stuff like that. To me, it wasn't the injury. Don't get me wrong, the injury didn't help either, but I think even if he was healthy, the injury was the perfect scapegoat to give him another try, right? To give him another shot at it. So he's gonna get it though. Vegas has Yanks about 92 wins this season. I agree. Vegas also had Yanks as the favorite to go to the World Series last year. How'd that turn out? Right? Look, you can't. Vegas knows what they're doing, right? Trust me, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, and I think the Yankees will make it to the playoffs with this roster. If they didn't change a damn thing with this roster, I think that they can make it to the playoffs, but they're not gonna go far. That's what I think. Without making some moves, I don't think they would. It all comes down to October when every hitter minus Judge disappeared. Yeah. And not only the hitters, the pitchers ain't show up either. But, I don't know. Look, I believe that the Yankees, look, my prediction is that the Yankees are going to be fighting for division come trade deadline. And if they don't make a big acquisition, if they don't go out there and guns blazing and say, look, we're going to go all in, just be like, look, we're going all in, then it's just going to be another year like the last 10 years. They're going to make it. They're going to squeeze into the playoffs, maybe a wild card or something. We're going to be all hyped, of course, and we're going to root for them because we're Yankee fans. Why not? Of course we are. But in reality, it's just going to be another year of just, damn, made it there just to get embarrassed. And they're going to say it was a successful year. That's what they're going to say. And we're going to buy it up and then rinse and repeat, and we're good, start all over. And we'll be right here again. Look, I'm tired of it, to be honest. Like, that's why I've if you go back to my streams, I've changed my tune a lot. I'm not falling for this shit no more, to be honest, guys. I'm not falling. Look, if you guys have been watching me, for those of you who just tuning in for the first time or just recently, when the season ended, right, when we lost to the Blue Jays and the Yankees took about a week off, whatever, we didn't hear anything, and then Boone and Cashman had that press conference, I knew right there and then, I even said it on the live show, I knew right there and then, they're going to run it back, guys. They might make some changes here and there. Some guys are going to leave. They're going to pick up some guys, but nothing significant. Nothing significant. They're going to run it back. They're going to bring back Cody Bellinger. They might bring back Grisham. I didn't know they were going to give him a qualifying offer, but I knew that the rosters were going to be almost identical because I could tell that they truly believe that they were good. They truly believed that they were better than the Blue Jays, but it was just, injuries. It's easy to find an excuse, man. It really is, for everything in life. I could always find an excuse. But once you stop with the excuses, that's when you start winning, man. For some reason, with everything, stop with the excuses. All right, just hold yourself accountable. No, we weren't good enough. That's it. This team wasn't good enough. We got spanked. The same thing with me. Like I could make an excuse for everything. You know, I could make an excuse for everything. But in reality, it's like, hey, okay, do better. Do better. Nobody cares. So, like they say, excuses are like buttholes. Everyone's got one. So I'm tired of the excuses. Just do better. That's my thing. It's like, okay, I get it, whatever. Like you can't win every year. I understand that. But if you're really not doing much to go, and then some of the moves they make, it's like, what are we doing? Are we even trying? They do get guys, but they don't, like I said yesterday, right? And I say it all the time. We will pick up a guy, right? We'll sign a guy or trade for a guy, but it's not the guy. Let's go and be the Yankees and let's get the guy, right? We did it with Juan Soto, I'm not going to lie. And look how far we got. That's what they got to do. Go get the guy, man. Who cares? If you got to trade some prospects, I get it. It sucks. And it might burn you later, but by all means, we're the Yankees. We could go get them later too, right? Them guys come up and it turns out they're really good players. Go sign them. So Mark Gates says, if Dominguez outplays Grisham, which he probably will this spring, will they still send him down to the minors because they overpaid Grisham 20? I mean, look, he can be the fourth outfielder maybe, but there's no way he's playing over Grisham. Jason Dominguez could bat 1,000, which obviously he can't because he's not right now, but you know what I'm saying. He can kill it this spring. It wouldn't mean a thing. Come opening day, the outfield will be Grisham at center, Bellinger at left, and Aaron Judge at right. That's what's going to happen, It doesn't matter how good. That's why when they brought back Grisham and then they signed Bellinger, it pretty much sealed any outfielder's fate of having any aspirations of making a major league roster in the Yankees uniform, right? It wasn't going to happen. That's it. There's too much money involved. That's just how it is. P says Yankees will have much more pitching this year. If they win 84, everyone should be fired, but it won't happen. Yeah, that's what I said, man. If they have a season where they don't make it to the playoffs at least, or even that, look, I think if they don't win a World Series, they need to fire everybody. And that sounds crazy because somebody's going to clip that, right? Somebody will clip that one thing and they'll say, Yankee fans are freaking stupid. No, but you got to get the context, right? It's because of all the moves for 16 years that we've made that led up to this point, and all the contracts that didn't work out and just all the contracts we gave out that didn't work out and all the contracts we didn't give out that would have worked out at some point. Look, I'm not saying, look, Cashman has made some phenomenal moves, right? He's made some great moves. But if we did the math, if somebody actually went and did the math, how many acquisitions, Cashman's batting average is not really good, right? He's got some home runs in there, some big time home runs, but he's batting like 1-something, he's batting under the Mendoza line. So, and it's one of those things like even with the bullpen, right? You see all these guys they got this off season, guys with potential, obviously, but it's like throwing shit against the wall and hoping something sticks, right? If you sign 10 bargain bin relievers and one of them pans out, all of a sudden you're a genius, right? But what about the other 9 that didn't? You're giving out $1 million for each one, right? Let's say you sign 7 relievers, right? You give out $1 million to each one and one works out. All right, isn't that a loss? To me, it is. And you could have just gave that money and just got somebody who is going to work out. But I understand those sometimes because arms are arms and they go down all the time. So, yeah. All right. Where am I? P says Judge will be 34 this year, so the clock is ticking fast. It is. Somebody look up, man, if you can. I could probably Google it. How old was Paul Goldschmidt when he won his MVP? I'm gonna look it up right now. Because even though Paul Goldschmidt, he could still play, but you could tell that the regression is a lot. It's significant from when he won MVP, which was not too long ago. We're not that far removed from his MVP season to now, you know. So, and I'm not saying that that's gonna happen to Judge, and I hope not, because I still think Judge got some good years, but you know, you can't expect him to be hitting 55 home runs and, you know, batting 330 at the age of 38 either. I would say. I mean, if he could, that'd be great, but it's tough. Right. I got it right. How old was Paul Goldschmidt won MVP? He was 35 years old. So Paul Goldschmidt was 35 years old when he won MVP, when he won the National League MVP. So that was 2022 to now. You see him now and you'd be like, damn, Father Time really got a hold of him. I'm not saying that he sucks. He handles lefties well, but he's definitely not the same player. And I hope that's not going to happen to Judge, but like Father Time is undefeated, guys. Like he's undefeated. It will happen at some point, right? And the clock is ticking. They got to get the guy a ring. It'll be a shame, man, because look, let me tell you something, right? And I know I haven't seen enough baseball like a lot of you guys have, especially you older folks and stuff. But you'll probably agree. He, to me, right, he is probably, I don't know, I have him, Barry Bonds, and Ohtani kind of there, right, with the three greatest that I've ever seen play baseball. Three greatest I've ever laid my eyes on playing baseball. Some days I'll say it's Ohtani. If we go with hitting, I don't know. You know, it's a toss-up between those three. But he's arguably top 10 ever, guys. I'm telling you. As far as hitting goes, top 10 ever. He could be the greatest right-handed hitter at least ever. The numbers he's putting up are ridiculous, especially nowadays when everybody's throwing 97 plus on the average. It is insane, man, what Aaron Judge is doing. To not get this guy, to not put the best opportunity to win a ring around him is crazy to me. It really is. And I would say that even if he was on another team. I said it for years with Mike Trout. I'm like, look, you got this dude's going to be a Hall of Famer one day. You have the best player in baseball at the time, and you don't put a winning team around him. You're not trying to win. You're just going to let that go to waste. And I'm not talking about a winning team. I'm not good enough to probably make. I'm talking about a team that you know, like, this is, you know, we're going to kill it. We're going to the World Series. I don't feel like that about this team. I don't know about you guys. Like this team this year and last year. I said it last year too. I don't get vibes from the team like, yo, we going to World Series, man. We making it this year. Like, I don't. I see it as we're going to be good, but we got to make a move. Like, we got to do something to really push us over the hump. That's how I see this team. Miss Chocolate, what's up, Miss Chocolate? She says, that's the problem with Cashman. He thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. Yeah, and that's, you know, look, I've met guys like that my whole life, man. And sometimes, you know, I try to you got to humble yourself, right? You really do. Because when you think you know it all, that's when you don't know shit, right? When you think you know it all, that's when the joke's on you. Right? Everybody's laughing at you because really, you really don't know it. So sometimes you just got to learn, especially when you're doing something for so long. You got to, like, times change, man. Baseball has changed. The way the game is played, things are constantly evolving, and you're still doing these things the same way, thinking that it's going to work out eventually. Trust the process, right? He says trust the process. And okay, I was down with it, but look, man, how long is the prospect? I need a timeline. Give me a timeline. Is it a 5-year process? We're going into like 9, 10, 16 years now. How long is this process? Right? That's what I want to know, because everybody's like, well, you got to trust the process. There's a process. I'm like, all right, but like we've been in this process for quite some time now. Like, when does this shit end? Like, isn't there, what's the end game here? And they don't have one. The end game is make it to the playoffs, and it's just, so lottery at that point. It's just roll the dice and hope you get lucky. And that's not a real process. That's not a real plan. All right, because you don't see the Dodgers doing that. Even the Blue Jays are hungry, right? How do we go from making it to the World Series in 2024? Right? And I get it, we lost Soto, and that was going to be hard to make up for. But how don't you go out there and make a splash, right? Once we lost Soto, that he wasn't the only one that was available. Once they lost him, and I get it, they moved quick, but they didn't really go crazy. Like, once they lost him, they should have been like, yeah, we getting all, like, who's next on the list? They didn't do that. They're like, all right, we're going to, take a fly on Paul Goldschmidt. And that worked out for half a season. Cody Bellinger, that worked out. And they did good, but it wasn't enough, right? We took a step back from 2024. You see what the Blue Jays did. As a matter of fact, speaking of the Blue Jays, Okamoto, the guy they picked up from Japan, the guy that a lot of us Yankee fans wanted, he just hit his first home run today. He looks good. He looks really good. So, and I'm not saying that the Yankees should have got him or they should have got, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that instead of going out here and getting a whole bunch of, C-tier players. I don't know if you guys play MLB The Show. You know how like each player is like a card? You got the silvers and the gold and the diamonds. Let's go get diamond players, right? Let's get diamond players. Why are we getting bronze players, man? It's like Cashman thinks quantity is better than quality. That's what the Yankees think. Quantity is better than quality. Why give this guy a $10 million contract when we could just sign 10 pitchers nobody's ever heard of and maybe one of them work out, That's their philosophy. And sometimes it does work out, but obviously it ain't working out like in the grander scheme of things. Edison says, hola, saludos. Hold on, my Spanish isn't very good looking. Faltan pocos días ya para alcanzar el béisbol de las grandes ligas y yo voy a mis dos equipos. All right, so he's saying it's just a couple more days. Excuse me. Oh, man. For baseball, till baseball starts, and he got two teams. I don't know about that, man. How you going to have two teams? His two teams are the Mariners and the Mets. So, yeah, man, I'll tell you this. Look, the Mets, they could be good, right? But they have some question marks too, but they picked up some good players. But the Mariners, though, the Mariners are going to be good, man. And they, look, the Mariners and the Blue Jays are two teams I'm not going to say I'm scared of, but the Mariners and Blue Jays, I'm afraid that they got a taste, right? See, the Yankees were always there. We're always in the playoffs. Those two teams got a taste of how it feels like to come this close, and they making moves, right? And come the trade deadline, if they're in the runnings and they feel like they have a chance, they're not gonna let it come down to one more out like the Blue Jays or even the Mariners. It came down to what, a 3-run home run by George Springer to crush them. They're not gonna let that happen. They're gonna get that guy to push them over the hump. And the Yankees are going to sit back and we're going to get Ken Middleton or whatever his name was. We're going to get some guy that you're going to be like, what? Really? What? We're going to stay up 24 hours watching the trade deadline on Twitter, hoping Jeff Passan tweets the Yankees get the guy, right? Whether it's school, whoever it is. And they're not. It's going to go to another team and we're just going to be like, damn, But we got to root our team on, right? At the same time, it's like, look, it is what it is. I still root for my team, whether they good or bad. I'm rooting for my team. But that's what I hate, though, sometimes about the organization, the Yankees and Howe and these guys, that it's like, man, you see the fans, we're dying out here, dude. We're hurting out here, man, and we're looking bad, and we getting clowned by other fan bases and the team, man. We getting clowned by the Dodgers fans and the Blue Jays. We getting clowned, and we can't say nothing. We just got to eat it because, right? Because we're the laughing stock, apparently. So, yeah, man, pisses me off. Machado said, I fear it won't happen to Judge. People already comparing him to Don Mattingly. Yeah, but Judge will make the Hall of Fame. If Judge retired right now, he'd be a first ballot Hall of Fame unanimously. And if he's not unanimous, whoever didn't vote for him needs to be they need to get him out of there, right? The same thing with Jeter. Whoever didn't vote for Jeter is a hater, pretty much. Stephen B says this team goes to the playoffs and past the wild card and nothing much after it. Like every season, every year for the last, I don't know, 5 years, for a while now, every season, we just end in utter disappointment, right? Utter disappointment. And when I say disappointment, I don't mean like we lose, but we fought good. Like you saw the Blue Jays versus the Mariners. The Mariners lost, but man, they fought to the end. It was great. The Blue Jays too, they lost, but it was a battle to the end. It was great. No, every year we lose, and we lose in just disappointment and embarrassment. Every fucking year, yo. I'm sorry for cursing. Every year, it's an embarrassing loss. It's not like we could lose, like, oh man, the better team got us. We fought hard. We did our best. No, it's always we get embarrassed. Just no contest. Like, and for the last couple years, they just celebrate on our field, and we just go home with our heads down and like suckers, man, getting swept at home by the Astros. It just, oh my God, man. And there's no, I don't know. I don't understand. Like, if it was me, man, if I was the owner's son, I would be livid. Livid. I probably won't even let the team celebrate on my field because I'm a sore loser like that. Like, I'll be like, nah, I got to take that shit out of here. Go somewhere else. But I don't know. They don't. John says, I got a friend like that. He has never ate humble pie. Man, I've met so many people like that throughout my life. And I won't lie, I'm not perfect. There's times when I have to humble myself. I have to catch myself or somebody. That's why it's good to have people, like real friends and real people around you that'll let you know, like, no, you're wrong, dude. Like, or whatever it is, like, you need to chill out. Come back down to earth. And it's like, because I'll tell you what, look, if you don't humble yourself, life will, right? There's a saying, those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who are humble will be exalted. And I don't know, the Yankees right now, man, I feel like they're getting humbled, but they're fighting it. They don't want to believe it. They're in denial. A lot of them. They're in denial, and a lot of us fans are in denial. And I understand because we do, for the most part, make it to the playoffs every year. But that's not good enough for the Yankees. And we have a standard here. Obviously, you can't win every year, but you can't be okay with losing either, right? You can't win every year. That's not possible. It's not impossible, but it's not probable. But you can't be okay with losing, and that's where I think really this organization pisses me off. Right, is that they're okay with losing now. It's okay, as long as we put a team that's not a losing team. It's okay as long as we're not complete failures, and we get at least one. At least we make it to the playoffs. It's okay, right? Michelle says, thank you year after year. I think it will happen this year too. Yanks may get embarrassed again, but we don't know. I think if the Yankees, I think that, look, in the trade deadline, right? Around the trade deadline, I expect some big, I don't know why, but I'm thinking there's going to be some huge players available. It's going to cost a lot, and a lot of people are going to say, don't do it. But these are going to be guys that can really push you over the hump. These are going to be guys that move the needle guys, right? Not just random guys that you don't know. These are guys that move the needle. That instantly they come on your team, you're a contender, right? Or you're this. It's a different dynamic. So, yeah. What's up, Sunil? Sunil says the troll is back. Look out, Custodio. I know, man. The dude is on my head. I'll take him off. Yeah, folks. That's what it is, man. That is what it is. That is what it is. But, with that being said, I love my team. And there's some players on this team that I'm really excited about, man. I'm really, really excited about. Obviously, Judge being one of them. But even like some of these young guys, Ben Rice, um, Cam Schlittler is a player that I am super excited. Like I want to see more of him. I can't wait to get a whole season of him, and I hope that he lives up to all the hype. And so far he has, and I think he will too. So we have there's some bright spots, some bright spots on this team that I do look forward to. Sunil says, if the New York Yankees get embarrassed in the playoffs, Boone has to be pushed out the same season as Cashman's final year of contract, Custodio for manager, and Iffy for GM. Oh, yeah, man. I'll be the manager. I will be the manager. I probably won't be good at it. Look, I'm not going to lie. Like, Boone knows more. Boone's pinky knows more baseball than I will ever know. But I don't know. Sometimes he just makes wrong decisions. That's the thing, man. You can know a ton of baseball and everything, but you make the right decision at the right time, it's a different story. And sometimes he does push the button. Sometimes he does push the right button, but in some key moments, I've seen him push the wrong button, and it's like that can't happen ever again. NFE, what's up, man? Look, you say NFE's name 4 times in a row, or like 5 times, like Candyman, and he appears. You just got nominated for GM of the New York Yankees, NFE. Congratulations. Congrats. Congrazie. I'm waiting for your cheesecake. Damn, this dude's still waiting for cheesecakes. That's like, yo, I don't know about you, Sunil. Cheesecake, that's like the Epstein keyword, freaking code words and stuff, man. Don't be using no freaking crazy code words on my freaking channel, man. No Pizzagate over here. All right. Yeah, so Okamoto hit a home run today. I want to show it, but I don't want to get copyrighted. So, yeah. Just look it up after this. He hit a home run. His first as a Blue Jay. His first in the MLB, period. I don't know. Everything I've heard and what people are saying. Sometimes I watch these Blue Jay podcasts and stuff, and they saying the dude looks good. He looks legit. Same thing with Murakami. They say Murakami's pretty good. We'll see, though. We will see. He says, it's my homemade cheesecake I make from scratch. I sent you a picture before. Yeah, man. I mean, if you send me a picture of cheesecake, what I'm going to do, eat it? I can't eat it. I don't care about a picture. Anyway, I'm staying away from all that stuff anyway, man. I'm diabetic, so I can't eat that stuff. I can't wait to become GM so fans can say they want me to get fired. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, they're going to, before you even take the position, they're going to freaking, want you to get fired. But I agree with fans, man. Look, I'm on the boat, man, where I think Cashman needs to go. I'm going to keep it real with you. I don't care what anybody says. And I wasn't on that train, that bandwagon forever, right? But it's time, man. I feel like it's run its course. Don't get me wrong. He's done great. But, man, at some point, sometimes you just need change just for change's sake. You really do. Something different. We need like a new regime in there. A new philosophy, a new everything. Just a new everything. Let's do something different. Let's change something for once. Let's do something different. Let's try something new. And I'm not talking about a beard policy. I'm talking about like get rid of these guys who's been in this organization since freaking Don Mattingly was playing, right? These guys gotta go. Yeah, I think Cashman, look, it's tough, right? Because I get it. Especially you've been working so that if Cashman's pretty much family at this point. I'm not saying fire him or anything. I'm just saying like, look, and him himself, right? Look, and this is to Cash, and who am I to say this, right? But I feel like as a fan, man, like, bro, thank you for your service. But respectfully, man, I need you to just keep it pushing, man. Respectfully. But we're gonna put a plaque of you, not in Monument Park, but we're gonna have a special thing for you, a going away party, whatever it is. Maybe you could take a higher position, whatever it is. But we need something different. Respectfully, we just need a change. We need a change. We're a dying. I'm not gonna say we're a dying organization. I can't say that, but other organizations are doing laps around us, man, and everything, right? Obviously, we spend a lot of more money than a lot of teams, so we're able to put a quality team out there every year. But man, I don't know. I feel like there should be more with the amount of money we spent and everything. We shouldn't be 16 years without a ring at all. And I'll be honest, like, look, to me personally, look, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that. I don't feel like this team is a good team, but is it a World Series team? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't. And that sucks. But I'm hoping that they can either, catch magic or the Yankees make a big move at some point, make a move that really moves the needle, and they take it there to the next level. Cashman could be Dino Bravo and Disco. Yeah. He can Dino Bravo. What we got? So this is high position or high. With Boone Jason, this team is a World Series of poker. The World Series of poker team. Not even that, man. Not even that. Oh, shoot. But yeah, man. Anyway, guys, again, for that, I know NFE is here. I'll text you some point. Show you some, man. I want you guys to check out Evie Mux. I put the link in the description. I made some apps there, like a ticker and stuff. If you guys want to check it out, if you're into streaming or you want to get into it, go ahead. I had somebody comment on me, right? Earlier. Somebody left me a comment and they said, and I'm going to paraphrase it right now because I can't remember the whole thing. He said, enough. Every Yankee fan doesn't need to be the next John Boy. Everybody wants to be a YouTuber, but they don't know that YouTubers don't make no money. Oh, I don't know. So he went on. And I had to remind myself, like, dude, first of all, I work like everybody else, right? I don't make no money from this. This is a hobby at this. I make a couple dollars maybe, but that's about it. Nothing to really do anything else with. And I've been on YouTube since 2015. Look how old my channel is, right? So this is to whoever that person is. Like, bro, get off my meat, bro. Like, okay, maybe if you feel that way, who gives a crap, dude? Like, live your life. Let other people live their life. If they want to stream, let them stream. If they want to freaking go, I don't know, do anything. Let them do whatever they want to do. It's a free country. As long as you're not hurting nobody else, you should be allowed to do whatever you want, especially streaming. So get off my nuts, whoever you are. Get off it. All right. NFE. Make sure y'all go check out the Strike Zone. My man NFE, bro. Be killing it, man, with the pre-games. I haven't seen you do any pre-games lately, though. But the play-by-plays, that's my guy right there. The folks like John Boy made it big from YouTube. No, I know. It's just a comment, and sometimes every now and then I'll get a comment like that, and I just ignore it. But this one upset me because I'm like, dude, like, like he's trying to make it seem like I just came out of nowhere, and I get it. Maybe to him, I just came out of nowhere, and some other people that just found me. But I've been grinding at this thing since 2015, on and off, right? On and off since 2015. My niche was different then than it is now. But my guy, come on. Before you leave a comment like that, at least do your research, Do your research. And I'm not saying I deserve anything or anything like that. I'm just like, dude, when I do this, right? When I do this right here, I might make $1 from the stream. You know how much more time and effort I put into it, and even money too. Because this equipment ain't cheap and all this stuff to step up my quality and do this. So give me a break, dude. And if you don't like it, man, look, I hate to see you go, but don't let the door hit you with the good Lord split you at the same time. So respectfully, man, kick rocks. Kick rocks. Just tell them your identity, Jason. Undercover MLB manager Alex Cora. Yep, I'm gonna pull off the mask, right? Imagine, right? Like freaking on Mission Impossible. You're like, ta-da! It's me, Alex Cora, and I'm here to lead you Yankee fans astray. Yeah. And if he says he may do something with the pre-games, yeah, man. We still waiting for that cooking channel. Oh, you're working during the day? Yeah. And if he eats raw steaks, I'm going to find that video. I don't know how to deal with it. And if he eats steaks raw, literally raw. He likes his steaks microwaved. Disgusting. Nah, man. But anyway, man, that's going to do it for me. Unless you guys want to talk about got any questions or anything like that. I'm happy to answer if you want to talk about any specific topics, give you my opinions. If you want to check out, like, if you like these graphics and everything I'm doing, that's another thing. I'm not a hater either. I share. I'm willing to share knowledge and help people out. And I've also made some stuff on EavyMux, and if you use the link in the description, I get a small percentage, but yeah, you got to hustle, man. I got to get it where I can get it. And it takes a lot of time, man, to make the stuff. So definitely. You know what we'll do? We'll do one more thing. Now you guys want to hash shuffle? You want to do the hash shuffle? Oh, yeah, I got tired of that already. I got to figure out, like, I don't want to do like the this or that and the hash shuffle every day because I feel like it gets played out, but kind of running out of ideas over here. You guys ain't asking no questions, but so I'll go ahead and do the hash shuffle. So you guys, stadium hash shuffle. We'll open this thing up. Same deal. Keep your eye on the ball and enter 1, 2, 3 in the chat when the voting pops up. And of course, I lost it already. I'm terrible at this. One, 2, or 3. Type in 1, 2, or 3 in the chat. We're picking 2. I'm gonna pick 1. NYYJ says 3. What's up, NYY? Oh yeah, see it glitched right there. Obviously that's wrong. Yeah, it's still not proper. Man, I've been trying to get that shit to work flawlessly. It'll go like out of 10 runs, right? I'll play that game 10 times. 9 times out of 10, it'll be good, but it's not perfect yet. It gets confused with the results for some reason. You feel me? No, I got cough drops right here. Look, behind the scenes. This is how I've been surviving. Been popping these things in, and I'm sweating a little bit too, especially with this light right here. So yeah, I'm a little under the weather, but Kazuma Okamoto clobbers his first home run today for the Blue Jays. Tariq Scuba says he'll make 1 start for US and WBC. Just 1 start? That's crazy. And you know what? I don't blame him. He's going on. He's approaching a contract season. Why would he even play? The fact that he's making one start. The fact that he's making one start is big, right? Team USA is stacked. At least we got Paul Skeens in there, but he's making one start, and I don't blame him, right? Even Judge skipped out on the whole WBC because he was going into his contract season. So, look, I think Scooby, he's gonna get a lot of money if he could stay healthy. The money tour. Sunil says cough drops are like pot. They're addictive. Yeah, they are, man. Once you pop, the fun don't stop, right? You got to keep going. That's why I've already killed like 5 of them behind the scenes. Look, the rappers. Money tour. Yep. Damn, Cleveland's leading the Cactus League. Who cares, right? Anyway, folks, man, that's going to do it for me. I'm about to end the stream right here. I appreciate you guys so much, man. You guys are awesome. And yeah, man, again, if you got any ideas, anything, man, I'm all ears. Just hit me up, find you my contacts and descriptions and all that stuff. Again, if you want to look into certain graphics and tickers and stuff like that I make, go into EVMux. The link is in the description. And check them out, man. Check them out. It's something that you could probably use. And if you have an idea, if you want me to update something, change something, I'll look into it too. But anyway, folks, that's going to do it for me. Have a blessed night. I'm going to try to be on tomorrow early. I'm going to try to be on early tomorrow. So look out for that. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And like the video if you can. With that being said, I'm out of here, folks. Love you guys, man. Take care.
It's a night show, live, glow, jam on. JC live, yeah, we on that road.
Pull up the stat, chat hitting like flame. Viewers go wild when they call out names. 808 jump when the play gets shown. Wrongs in the mix, yeah, the crowd don't know. Flashes pop, overlay tight, he blew away, all up in sight. One taboo, screen on blast. Just on the show for speed, no cap. Ain't show, let it ride, let it roll. Chat in stream, Lord, that's control. Stats flash like splash, all heat. Didn't see that stream on repeat. Night show, yeah, we hot, we zone. Big bronze talk when the mic get blown. One more drop, I say shit.